Hello and welcome to today's session of the daily quiz. I hope all of you are doing good. I welcome you all to a place where we discuss some of the most important topics in the news from the prelims examination point of view by converting them into relevant questions. We take questions from different sources such as the Hindu newspaper, Indian Express, PIB, down to earth, etc. If you want a PDF of all these presentations, you can join my Telegram channel. I've given the link in the description of this video. Also, if you need any help with your UPSC preparation, if you need any help that you want to ask about, I've given my email ID and my number again in the description of this video. Before we begin, again reminding you, you can download my app as well from the Google Play Store. The name of the app is Harshmeet Study Circle. You will find a lot of different courses that you can register for, including the PSIR live online course, the answer writing program, the PSIR test series, and many more. Let's begin then with the quiz today with question number 1 on your screen. Pollution index of any industrial sector is a number from 0 to 100. In this context, consider the following statements. Number 1. Industrial sectors having pollution index score of 60 and above are red category. Second, score 41 to 59 is orange category. 21 to 40 is white category, and up to 20 is green category. How many of these are correct? So the CPCB, that is the Central Pollution Control Board of India, has different categories in which they categorize industrial units based on the score that they get in this pollution index. That is the context of this question. Highest is 16 above, red category, that is correct. Then 41 to 59 orange category, this is also correct. Third and fourth are wrong. Up to 20 is actually white category, and 21 to 40 is actually green category. So both of these, that is the third and the fourth, are correct. The answer here is B. First and the second are correct. There is an article in the Indian Express newspaper today, according to which no pollution control permits will be required for white category sectors. This is an article about how the CPCB tries to regulate their different sectors in different factories in the sectors depending on whatever their rating is. These permissions are known as consent to establish and consent to operate, and these are granted to regulate industries that discharge some effluents and emit pollutants into the environment. Next, question number 2. Consider the following statements with regards to the NISAR mission, NISAR. Number 1. It will be the first radar of its kind in space to systematically map Earth using two different radar frequencies, L band and S band, to measure changes in our planet's surface less than a centimeter across. Second, NISAR has been built by space agencies of the US and India under a partnership agreement signed in 2014. And third, NASA requires the L band radar for its global science operations for at least 5 years, while ISRO will utilize the S band radar for a minimum of 3 years. How many of these are correct? This is in the news because apparently the NISAR mission's launch has again been delayed. So ISRO has released its plans for this year in 2024, and NISAR is not on the list, and that is why it is again in the news, as in why is it getting delayed time and time again. In that aspect, first and second statements are correct. This is a joint collaboration between NASA and ISRO. The objective is to have a radar in the space that can map the Earth extremely accurately by using two radar frequencies. Third is wrong. NASA will require it for at least 3 years, while ISRO will require the S band for 5 years. So 3 and 5, these are the two things that have interchanged here. The answer thus is B. Any two are correct. The third statement here is wrong. Indian Express newspaper carries this article today. NISAR missing from ISRO's plan, mission unlikely this particular year. Next, question number 3. With reference to mineral exploration in India, consider the following statements. Number 1. Section 9 of Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957 requires those who obtain leases to conduct mining activities to pay a royalty in respect of any mineral removed to the individual or corporation who leased the land to them. So meaning that if a company got a land to take out minerals, whatever mineral they take out, they have to pay royalty to them from wherever they took the land. If they took the land from individual, they'll have to pay royalty to individual. If they're taking a land from a corporation or a government entity, then they have to pay royalty to that. That is the first statement. Second, India's states have the power to tax the mining activities. And third, Supreme Court recently held that a royalty is not a tax. That is, these two are different. How many of these are correct? Now this is with respect to a very, very important judgment in the Supreme Court. It's a 9-judge bench rather. By 8:1, they have decided that the states have the power to tax mining activities, and royalty and tax are not the same. There are arguments that royalty and tax are the same, only one of them should be imposed, but the Supreme Court did not agree to that. Answer is C, all three here are correct. The state governments can impose tax on the mining activities. This is a long article about mining and the power of the states. Supreme Court has said that royalty is not a tax. States have the power to tax the mining activities. It was a very, very long pending judgment where 9-judge constitution bench has decided this matter. The Supreme Court first considered this question as back as in 1989. So it's a very, very, very old case that was going on for many years. Next, question number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to oil spills. Number 1. Bacteria can be used to clean up oil spills in the ocean through bioremediation. Second, using bacteria such as Psychoclasticus, Oleospira and others can help remove several classes of contaminants. Third, floating barriers called booms are used to restrict the spread of oil to allow for its recovery, removal and dispersal. Now, oil spills in the ocean is a big problem. Whenever there are vessels that are carrying oil, that are transporting oil, either they are damaged or there is some leakage, because of it there is oil spill. It is extremely dangerous for the marine life, for the humans that are living nearby that water body. That is why many techniques have now been developed to curtail this oil spill. One of them is obviously bioremediation. You use these kind of bacteria that can break down oil and make it less harmful. Third is also correct. There is something called floating barriers or floating booms that are used to restrict the flow of oil. I'll just show the picture in just a moment. The answer here is C. All these three here again are correct. The reason why we are discussing this is because a huge container ship carrying 14 lakh liters of oil sinks near Philippines, and that is why oil spill has again become a matter of concern. This is what you call as this booms or barriers, the floating barriers. So this is oil, as you can see, this has been restricted here, it is not going away to the other part. That is what is called as booms. Next, question number 5. Which of the following is the most common application of kendu leaves? Beedis, pan, cow fodder or none of the above? Kendu leaves, also known as the tendu leaves in some parts. This is an easy question. The answer is beedis. These are used to make beedis in many parts of the country. This is a question we have taken from Down to Earth. If you look at Down to Earth website, they are carrying an important article from Odisha. How kendu produce worth rupees 34 lakhs could go unsold because the permits are being refused to forest dwellers. This is so picking up kendu leaves or tendu leaves and then selling it in the market is one of the most important sources of livelihood for tribals living in that belt in some of the poorest parts of the country, and that is relevant to them. We'll end today's session with an important quote that you can utilize in your mains examination. This is a quote by Abraham Lincoln. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Basically, when people get power in their hand, that is when the worst behavior comes out. So if you want to really test a man's character, how bad the man can be, give the man a power, hold him in an important position, and then see how do they behave. You can use this in relevant essays and ethics papers. This brings us to the end of the session today. Again, if you are new here, do hit the subscribe and the like button. If this video helped you, do join us tomorrow as well for the next session. Till then, bye-bye. Take care of yourself. Jai Hind.